Hello, welcome to our lesson for today, the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. But before we will proceed, let us review first or recall ano ba ang quadratic equation. A quadratic equation in one variable is a mathematical sentence of degree 2 that can be written in the following standard form: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0. Itong standard form, itong ax squared, ito yung quadratic term natin. Bx is our linear term and c is a constant term. Yung A, B, and C, pwede siyang maging real numbers. Any number. Pwede siyang maging whole number, maging decimals, fraction, radicals. Lahat ng number pwede siya. Ito lang si A ay hindi pwedeng maging 0. Bakit? Kasi pag naging 0 si A, hindi na siya quadratic. Magiging linear equation na siya. Okay? So, proceed tayo. Yung lesson natin, the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation using the discriminant. So this is the objective. The learner characterizes the roots of a quadratic equation using the discriminant. So ano ba ang discriminant? The value of the expression b squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This can be used to describe the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. Pwedeng maging 0, positive and perfect square, positive pero hindi perfect square, or negative. So, makakatulong itong discriminant para ma-describe natin kung ano ba ang nature of the roots ng quadratic equation. So, we have here, una, when the expression b squared minus 4ac or the discriminant is equal to 0, then the roots are real numbers and are equal. Halimbawa, describe the roots of x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. Pinapadescribe sa atin ang roots. So, by solving this expression, b squared minus 4ac, or by solving its discriminant, malalaman agad natin. So, first, identify natin what is the value of A, B, and C. So, A is 1. Saan nanggaling ang 1? Dito po siya nanggaling sa quadratic term natin. Ang numerical coefficient ng quadratic term. So, ang tanong, ma'am, wala naman po akong nakikitang 1 dyan. Pag wala pong number dyan, except for this exponent, it is understood na 1 ang numerical coefficient niyan. Okay, so A here is 1. B is negative 4. Saan naman nakuha ang negative 4? Dito po sa linear term. Negative 4. And C is 4. Ito po yun, yung constant term natin. So, evaluate na natin siya dito sa discriminant natin na b squared minus 4 discriminant expression b squared minus 4ac. So, substitute po natin ang b, ang negative 4 in terms of b, at ang a, ang 1 sa a, and 4 sa c. Sinubstitute po natin sila. Then, let us solve. Negative 4 squared meaning you have to multiply negative 4 2 times by itself. Negative 4 times negative 4. Hindi po yun negative 4 times 2. Okay? So, negative 4 squared or negative 4 times negative 4 is equal to 16. Minus 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So, magiging 16 minus 16 na siya. And the answer is 0. So, ayun na. Ang value ng expression b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Meaning, ang discriminant natin is 0. So, kung 0 ang discriminant natin, then the roots are real numbers and are equal. So, ito yon. Since the value of b squared minus 4ac is 0, we can say that the roots of the quadratic equation x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0 are real numbers and are equal. So, let us check. Check natin yung quadratic equation natin kanina na x squared minus 4 plus 4 equals 0. Gamitin natin yung quadratic formula. So, ano nga ulit ang quadratic formula natin? X equals negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So, let us find the value of a, b, and c. A is 1, b is negative 4, and c is positive 4. So, substitute natin sa quadratic formula natin. Ito na. Copy this negative sign and palitan natin itong b ng value ng b natin dito. So, b is negative 4. So, b is negative 4 plus square root of negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1. Yung 1 sa value ng a yan. Times 4. 4 is value ng c. Over 2 times a, wherein a is equal to 1. So, continue tayo. So, negative times negative is positive. Positive 4. Okay? Negative times negative is positive. And copy natin yung 4. Plus, negative 4 squared or negative 4 times negative 4, that is 16. Minus 4 times 1 times 4 is 16. Over 2 times 1 is 2. So, ito na, 4 plus square root of 16 minus 16, that is square root of 0. Copy ang denominator na 2. So, square root of 0 is 0, of course. So, 4 plus 0 equals 4, copy 2. And that means 4 over 2 or 4 divided by 2 will gives us 2. So, yan yung isang roots ng quadratic equation na x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. Solve ulit natin yung isa, which is yung minus naman. Bali, dalawa po yung isosolve natin kasi plus and minus po ito. So, isolve natin yung plus and this time, yung minus. So, the same process. Substitute the values of a, b, and c sa quadratic formula natin. So, magiging negative 4. Negative times negative 4 minus square root of negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4 over 2 times 1. So, negative times negative is positive. Copy natin yung 4. Copy natin yung minus dito. Square root of, solve natin ito, negative 4 times negative 4, that is 16 minus negative 4 times 1 times 4, or minus 4 times 1 times 4 is 16. Kinapin natin yung minus dito. Over 2 times 1 is still 2. So, 4 minus square root of 16 minus 16 is square root of 0 over 2. 4 minus square root of 0, that is equal to 0 over 2. So, 4 minus 0, syempre 4 po yun. Over 2. 4 over 2 is equal to 2. So, equal po ang roots nila. Sinabi kanina, if the value of the discriminant is 0, yung roots nila are real numbers and equal. So, tama po. Real numbers po ang 2 and they are equal. Okay, so naintindihan po. So, next tayo. So, ayan, the roots of a quadratic equation, x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0 are real numbers and are equal. Next, when b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 and a perfect square, then the roots are rational numbers but are not equal. Kanina, pag ang itong expression is equal to 0, ang roots nila are real numbers and equal. Ngayon naman, kung ang expression na ito is greater than 0 and perfect square, then the roots are rational numbers pero they are not equal. So, halimbawa, determine the nature of the roots of x squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. Identify, syempre ulit natin yung value ng a, b, and c. A is 1. Dito po yun galing sa quadratic term. Understood po na 1 ang numerical coefficient ng quadratic term natin. B is 7 from linear term. And C is 10, constant term. Evaluate this expression, b squared minus 4ac. Ito po yung discriminant expression natin. So, papalitan natin yung b ng 7. Then, replace 1 in terms of a and 10 in terms of c. Then, evaluate. 7 squared or 7 times 7 is 49 minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 10 is 40. 49 minus 40 is 9. Ang 9 po is greater than 0 at saka perfect square po siya. Bakit natin masasabi na perfect square? Kasi meron po siyang 2 equal factors. Ano ang 2 equal factors niya? 3 times 3. Tama? Pag sinabi nating perfect square, it has 2 equal factors. Another example of perfect square is 4 dahil meron siyang factors na 2 times 2. Another is 25 dahil meron siyang factors na 5 times 5. Okay? So, yun po ang perfect square. So, kung greater than 0 and perfect square, ano ang magiging roots niya? Ang roots niya are rational numbers pero hindi equal. So, check natin. Let us solve the roots of x squared plus 7x plus 10. Gagamitin po ulit natin ang quadratic formula. na x equals negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So, find the values of a, b, and c. A here is 1. Ito yun siya. B is 7 and C is 10. So, substitute natin sa quadratic formula. So, dalawa po yung isosolve natin. Yung plus at yung isa is minus. Okay? So, unahin po natin ito. So, substitute these values in our quadratic formula. B is 7, A is 1, and C is 10. A is 1 here. So, compute. This is negative 7 plus square root of 7 squared, or 7 times 7 is 49, minus 4 times 1 times 10 is 40, over 2 times 1 is 2. Next is negative 7 plus square root of 49 minus 40. That is 9. Copy the denominator 2. So, the square root of 9 is 3. Ito po yun. Kinapi muna natin yung negative 7 plus the square root of 9 is 3 over 2. So, negative 7 plus 3, adding integers and like signs, get the difference and copy the sign of the higher value. So, 7 minus 3 is 4 and copy the sign of the higher value. So, negative 4 over 2. Negative 4 over 2, that is equal to negative 2. So, yan yung isang root ng quadratic equation na x squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. Ito naman, solve ulit natin ito. So, substitute, then solve. So, we have here 7, negative 7 minus square root of 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 10. 7 squared or 7 times 7 is 49 minus 4 times 1 times 10 is 40 over 2. Copy negative 7 minus square root of, subtract mo ito, 49 minus 40 is 9. Then, answeran natin, negative 7 minus square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. Then, negative 7 minus 3. So, negative 7 minus 3, that is negative 10. Copy 2. So, negative 10 divided by 2. Pag nagdi-divide tayo, if they have unlike signs, the answer is always negative. So, negative divided by positive, the answer is negative. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, the answer is negative 5. So, ayan na. Ang value ng roots natin, ng discriminant natin kanina is positive 9, which is greater than 0 and perfect square. So, pag ang roots is greater than 0, pag ang discriminant is greater than 0 and perfect square, ang roots nila are real numbers. Ang roots nila are rational numbers, I mean, but not equal. Okay? So, rational numbers ito, pero hindi sila equal. Hindi sila pareho. Pag sinabi natin rational numbers, those are numbers that can be written in fraction form. Okay? So, The roots of the quadratic equation x squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0 are rational numbers but are not equal. Okay? So, nakuha po. Proceed tayo sa number 3. When b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 but not a perfect square, then the roots are irrational numbers and are not equal. Pag ang discriminant daw is greater than 0 pero hindi perfect square, ang roots niya are irrational numbers. Yung irrational numbers, ito yung number na hindi natin maisusulat sa fraction form. Hindi natin ma-rewrite sa fraction form. And are not equal. Kanina, greater than 0 and perfect square. This time, greater than 0 pero hindi perfect square. So, example. Describe the roots of x squared plus 6x plus 3 equals 0. So, ano ang value ng A? Value ng A is 1, value ng B is 6, and value ng C is 3. Ito po yun siya. Dito po natin siya nanggaling. A sa quadratic term, B sa linear term, and C is our constant term. So, let us solve the discriminant. B squared minus 4ac equals, sinubstitute natin yung 6 in terms of B, sinubstitute natin yung 1 in terms of A, and 3 in terms of C. Then, evaluate 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 36 minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 3 is 12. So, 12. Then, subtract. 36 minus 12 is 24. Okay? So, since the value of b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 but not perfect square, so balikan natin, greater than 0 ito pero hindi perfect square. Dahil ang 24 walang equal factors. Ang factors ng 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 6 and 4, hindi equal. So, hindi ito perfect square ang 24. So, pag greater than 0 pero hindi perfect square, ang roots nila ay irrational numbers and are not equal. Okay? So, irrational numbers and are not equal. Ito yung nature of the roots of the equation x squared plus 6x plus 3 equals 0. So, check natin. To check, solve for the roots of x squared plus 6x plus 3 equals 0. Let us use the quadratic formula. So, let us find the value of a, b, and c, which is 1, 6, 3, and 3 respectively. So, the same process. Substitute the values of a, b, and c in our quadratic formula. We have negative 6 plus square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3 divided by 2 times 1. That is equal to negative 6 plus ito 36, and this one is 12 over 2. So, kinapi lang natin ito, negative 6 plus 36 minus 12 is 24. So, that is square root of 24 over 2. So, square root of 24 is 2 square root of 6. So, paano ito naging 2 square root of 6? Hanapin mo ang factors ng 24 ng isang factor niya ay perfect square. So, ang factors ng 24 na may perfect square is 4 times 6. Tama? Ang 4 na yun is a perfect square. So, ang square root ng 4 is 2. So, ayan na siya. Nasa labas na siya ng radical sign. And, square root of 6. Dahil 2 times 2 is 4 times 6 is 24. A square root of 24 is equal to 2 square root of 6. Ito po yung simplified form niya. Then, cancel out. Factor out po natin yung 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Cancel out po natin yung 2 dito. And then, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, pag 1 ang numerical coefficient, hindi na natin siya kailangan isulat. Then, makakancel out na rin po yung 2 dito. So, the simplified form is negative 3 plus square root of 6. This is irrational number. Bakit po irrational number? Kasi ito pong 6 ay hindi po siya perfect square. Pag pinindot mo po ito sa calculator, square root of 6 will gives us decimals, which is non-repeating and non-terminating decimals. Hindi po natin yung may isusulat into fraction form. And that is irrational numbers. Okay? So, next is yung negative na naman, yung minus na naman. The same, substitute, then solve. So, we have here now 6 minus square root of 6 minus square root of 24 over 2 equals negative 6 minus 2 square root of 6 over 2. Factor out 2. That is negative 3 minus square root of 6. So, the roots of the quadratic equation x squared plus 6x plus 3 equals 0 are irrational numbers but are not equal. Irrational numbers ito, pero hindi sila equal. Okay? Hindi sila equal dahil magkaiba po yung sign nila dito. Ito is plus at ito is minus. So, they are not equal. Okay? So, last, when b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, then the equation has no real roots. Less than 0 meaning negative numbers. Okay? Lahat ng negative numbers are less than 0. So, pag less than 0, pag negative, ang value ng discriminant natin, wala po siyang real roots. So, halimbawa, determine the nature of the roots of x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. So, the value of a is 1, b is 2, and c is 5. Evaluate in the expression b squared minus 4ac. Substitute. So, b is 2, a is 1, c is 5. 2 squared or 2 times 2, that is 4. Then 4 times 1 times 5 is 20. So 4 minus 20, that is negative 16. Negative 16 is less than 0. So, pag less than 0 ang discriminant natin, ano nga ang roots? Ang roots niya, wala. No real roots. The quadratic equation, the x squared plus 2x plus 5 has the discriminant negative 16. Therefore, it has no real roots. So, check ulit natin. To check, solve for the roots of x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0 gamit ang quadratic formula. Anyway, pwede po tayong gumamit ng iba pang way of solving the roots. Pwede pong by factoring. Depende po kung ano yung mas madali para sa inyo. So, find the value of A, B, and C. A is 1, B is 2, and C is 5. So, katulad lang po ng ginawa natin kanina, substitute the values of A, B, and C. Okay? So, ayan. So, ito na yung answer niya. Ito na yung roots niya. So, no real root siya. Bakit? Kasi, ang radicand natin is negative. Pag negative po ang radicand natin, negative numbers don't have real square roots. Since a square is either positive or 0. Okay? Wala po itong real roots ang negative. Kasi wala po siyang equal factors. Okay? So, next is, solve ulit natin yung minus. Okay? So, ayan po. Negative 2 minus 4 minus square root of 4 minus 20 over 2. So, negative 2 minus square root of 4 minus 20 is negative 16 over 2. Yan na po ang simplified form niya. And, this square root of any negative numbers has no real square roots. Okay? Don't have real square roots kasi negative po siya. Kasi pag i-multiply po natin, halimbawa, 4 times 4, positive 4 times positive 4 will gives us positive. Pag negative naman, negative 4 times negative 4 will gives us also positive, hindi po negative. Okay? So, the roots of a quadratic equation x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0 are not real numbers. Okay, naintindihan po. So, sa activity nyo in activity 7, on page 62 in your book, determine the nature of the roots of the following quadratic equations using the discriminant. So, I'll give you 2 examples. Ito yung gagawin nyo. Example number 1, x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 0. So, katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, identify the value of a, b, and c. So, a is 1, b is negative 10, and c is 25. Evaluate the expression b squared minus 4ac. Substitute natin yung mga values ng a, b, and c respectively. So, negative 10 squared or negative 10 times negative 10 is 100 minus 4 times 1 times 25 is 100. And the answer is 0. 100 minus 100 is 0. So, recall natin, pag 0 nga ang value ng discriminant, what is the nature of the roots? So, ang discriminant natin dito is 0. Nature of the roots is real numbers and are equal. Okay? Last example, 2x squared plus 4x plus 8 equals 0. So A is 2, B is 4, and C is 8. Correct? So evaluate B squared minus 4AC. B is 4. So 4 squared, that is 16 minus 4 times 2 is 8 times 8 is 64. So we have 16 minus 64. 16 minus 64 is negative 48. So, pag less than 0 ang discriminant, or negative ang discriminant, what is the nature of the roots? It has no real roots. Okay po? So, God bless. And if you have questions, just comment down. And don't forget to subscribe. See you sa next lesson natin. Bye!